Placed onions on a smash burger. Oh my god, dude, I want one of them fucking smash burgers so badly. There's actually a place near me that does it, and I want to go and try it at some point. Sandwiches and smoothie and snacks around that. Yeah, I was into a habit where I was doing smoothies in the morning. I gotta get back to that actually. You know what's funny? People rave about my dad's chili, and it's the recipe that I made today, right? They rave about it. Wherever we go, if we ever went for a barbecue or wherever we're going to a special occasion or something, everybody was always like begging my dad to make his chili. Do you know the #1 ingredient in that chili? Can anyone take a wild guess what the main ingredient is in that chili? You okay?
Not really.
What the hell's going on?
I crashed out and I can't afford to call a tow.
I could help you out. Is your buddy okay in the back here?
Yes, he's a Goober customer.
I got you covered, brother. What's your name?
Robin, sir.
Robin, good to meet you. Name's Floptugang. How long you been stuck here, man?
About 5 minutes.
Oh, good. I just happened to see you. Do not let me forget.
It's a struggle trying to make money.
Do not let me forget this, the
the
main ingredient. Just bear with me.
Pretty much all of the jobs in this city require some kind of manual labor that my body just won't allow. So Uber is my only option. So having to pay $600 for a car each day, which then trying to get all the rides to even make up for hiring the car in the first place, paying for petrol and food. It's a rough cycle.
I fully understand. I mean, listen, we pay out of pocket for all of our repairs. We make a paycheck, but at the end of it, when you look into gas and repairs alone, and then food, and then our equipment that we use, I mean, it's a struggle out here, man.
Yes, very much so.
Absolutely. Let me just take a look.
Well, I appreciate this.
Yeah, of course, not a problem. Oh, did I just scare your passenger? I apologize.
I think he's okay.
Okay. All right. Well, if you ever need anything, feel free to 311 or call 911. I got no problems. 311's not emergency. If you ever need anything, don't ever hesitate to reach out. I could try and do my best to come out and help you out. All right?
It's okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, not a problem.
Safe night.
Likewise, sir. You take care. All right? Be safe.
Will do. Thank you.
Feeling a nice guy. Poor guy. All right, so everybody put their guesses. What's the secret ingredient in chili? We got cinnamon, ketchup, pepperoni, beans, some type of canned meat, canned chili, love, mayo, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is actually underrated for a lot of things. Ready? Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Hold on. I'm trying to get a photo. Here it is. Actually, not this one. Let me do this one. Hold on. There it is. A jar of salsa. Instead of cutting up all the vegetables, you get a salsa that has all the ingredients in it. You throw it in. For years, people thought my dad was like ripping it in the kitchen with this chili and thought that this was like an insane thing. And when I was old enough to realize what he was doing, he had a jar of salsa and I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, watch. And he literally puts this in. No one knows. Nobody fucking knows. But when I thought about it, I'm like, you know, usually when you think about everything that goes into salsa, you technically put all of that into chili when you think about it. Now the world knows. Well, you don't know the other ingredients, but that is absolutely the main ingredient. There's no secret to it, you know what I mean? But yeah, no. That is the main ingredient that goes into this chili. My family does not watch my stream. No one from my family watches my stream. I mean, I use Rotel. Well, I mean, that's, you know, very similar, right? I mean, sometimes I'll throw a can of Rotel in still anyway, but the main ingredient for like just, you could spend an hour in the kitchen. Not even. I have made that chili in 30 minutes. So. But yeah. Sodium crazy, isn't it? Not really, no. You're not eating the entire thing in one serving, you know what I mean?
It show 116 and
Ten Inises?
show Bones and 116 and Route Crusade, correction, 40 hours for bench route, 10-7 for the time being.
Copy. Uh-oh. Salsa and chili, no. That's the issue, though, is that people hear something and they go, disgusting. You haven't tried it. There's more that goes into it, but it's not just meat and fucking salsa. There's a lot more that goes into it. But it's still a very simple, I don't know. Listen, I just talked about this the other day. The thought of eating eel sounds like a fucking disgrace to me. That sounds like a terrible thing to do. Awful. Would never do it. I went to a sushi place. I was eating something and I was like, eel sauce sounds disgusting. I was eating I was eating nigiri and they had a drizzle of something on it and I'm eating it. And I'm like, this is really good. So I asked the waitress. I was like, excuse me, I don't mean to bother, but what is drizzled on this? She goes, I'll let you know. She comes back and she goes, it's eel sauce. I judged it because I'm like, that's fucking gross. I had eel sauce. Now I like eel sauce. I haven't, no. Well, no's not really an answer. Could you give me an explanation as to why you're saying no? Because here's the problem with disagreements is that I'm going to ask why and your answer is going to be no. That's not exactly a defense. The same things that go into salsa go into chili. Exactly. I didn't think about it, but for like an easy recipe, it just makes sense. And to be clear, I try to mimic. Sometimes it's best not to question what you're eating. Yeah. Eel sauce is a staple. I love eel sauce. It's pretty smart. My dad's a fucking genius. I don't know where he thought about this, but he did it one day. And that's just what he stuck with. Because I cut up the vegetables too, and I sauteed them to kind of let them cook in, be a little soft. And I did the rotel with the you know, the chilies. And I kind of concocted this thing for chili, and I took the extra steps to try it. And then I did a side-by-side comparison off of what I did compared to what the cop-out way was, which was to just do it with the salsa. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I for the extra 30 minutes it took me to cut up the vegetables and everything, the taste was very negligible. It was not very different. Gator bites weirder me out until I try them. Absolutely. I don't know. Does the eel thing include gelatin? I'm gonna be honest with you. My hot take of today is sometimes it's best just not knowing what the fuck goes into something. Me personally, I don't even want to know what goes into making eel sauce. I just know that in my brain, eel sauce good, and I want to just keep it at that. I don't want to know anything further. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like there's some things in this world that I will eat and enjoy, but I don't want to know what goes into it. Like for example, I love gorgonzola cheese. Love gorgonzola cheese. I could honestly probably sit down and eat gorgonzola chunks as a fucking snack. It is very bad. Deep down, I know that I'm eating moldy cheese, but I don't want to think about it like that. I just want to know it is fucking cheese, right? What's your favorite food? I actually have an answer for that, and I'm going to tell you why it became one of my favorite foods. So, I'm not a fan of eggplants. Almost exclusively at all. Not a fan of eggplant. Never really had the drive for it. It just wasn't for me. Until my dad was like, hey, do you want to help me make eggplant parmesan? Eggplant parm. And I was like, oh, sure. What he didn't tell me was that the process to thinly slice the eggplant, double bread it and fry it. So first you have to cut the outside. Then you have to cut it into these paper thin slices. Then you have to batter it twice and then fry the eggplant before you can layer it. I was not informed that the process to eggplant parm is no bullshit a 10-hour process, and if you have more than just yourself, you're lucky to make it in 6. That's just to fry the eggplant. Once you get past that, to actually layer it, get sauce in the pan, and then throw cheese on top is like another 30 to 45 minutes. You're talking an 8 to 10 hour process for a plate of food. But when I tell you it is to die for, I love it. And whenever I think about eggplant parm, my reason for loving it is because I know that is a labor of love. That is not something I can make in 20 minutes. It is probably one of my favorite dishes. But it is actually a nightmare to make eggplant parm at home. It's to the point where the only way I'd ever have it is if I had 6 of my friends to come together and help me make that. That is a nightmare to put together. Did your dad ever go to culinary school, or was it just through watching family members cook? I come from a very heavily Italian family. And my grandma was the stereotypical Italian grandmother. On the weekend, she would just have a sauce, a sauce cauldron, making sauce on the weekend, making pastries, and just going about. And my dad just loves to cook. He loves it, and he enjoys doing it. And honestly, it was that moment where, like, kind of growing up, I was just into it, and it was something we did on the weekend and had fun with. I was 14 the first time I tried biscuits and gravy. I thought that sounds terrible. One of my favorite dishes. Yeah, biscuits and gravy is delicious. It's fantastic. The thing with biscuits and gravy though is that's another one of those meals you really don't want to know the process. Just enjoy it. Who owns that truck? I think it's a shared vehicle. Chat, what's your favorite meal? We're having good conversation right now. There's not a whole lot going on. We might be the only fucking patrol unit right now. Tuna casserole? You know what's funny? Tuna casserole was something that, like, growing up, my mom was always like, that's disgusting. And then I finally had it and I was like, this really isn't that bad. It's not my favorite thing by far, but it's not bad. Green bean casserole to die for. Baked macaroni and cheese with crab. I can't have that because I have a shellfish allergy, but that does sound good. Calamari. You know what's fucked up about calamari? I just can't do it. I don't know why. It's not like I despise it and it's the devil. You know what I mean? It's just, I just can't do calamari. You would think out of anything to like, oh, you don't like stuff from the ocean, might I interest you in this? Calamari is just one thing I could never get into, and I don't know why. Caviar? I'm too poor for caviar. Spaghetti bolognese, delish. Chicken stir fry is delicious. Chicken fried steak. Chicken fried steak is something that most people would think is disgusting. On every front, chicken fried steak is delicious. Have you ever had mole? Hold on. I'm gonna look this up. I don't know what that is. Maybe I have actually. Hold on. It's a traditional sauce and marinade originally used in Mexican cuisine. In contemporary Mexico, used for a number of sauces. Blah, blah, blah. It looks familiar, but I don't think I have. It almost has that, like, that curry fear. Fried cauliflower. You know what's funny? I was against cauliflower being a substitute for things. Fried cauliflower, go hard. Pierogies are good. Oysters or lobster. That just sounds like a trip to the hospital for me waiting to happen. I have a hot take. I don't love sushi. Like, it's not good, but it's not bad. Sushi to me is meh. Okay. I would agree with you, but I was not a believer until I had good sushi. Let me explain. I had the best sushi in Austin ever. It was probably one of my favorite meals. And I can tell you, without fail, for fact, my most expensive meal I have ever had. By far. Excuse, no. What the fuck are you doing?
What are you doing?
What do you mean? Just chilling.
You're in
the
the wrong lane. What do you mean you're just chilling?
Wait, was I in the wrong lane?
Yes.
No, you weren't.
I don't think so.
What?
You came right at me.
Yeah, that's actually fucked up for trying to gaslight me for being in the wrong lane.
Would you like to follow me and go back to where it happened, or would you like your ticket, or do you want to just take this as a slap on the wrist? I'll let you choose.
Oh, maybe just a slap on the wrist.
Oh,
That
okay.
amazing.
I understand. It's okay. I get it. What's your
Come
name?
on, please.
Good talk.
What's your name?
Jane.
Driver, what's your name?
Edward.
Edward, what's your last name?
Colin.
Edward Colin? Okay. Edward,
That's me. Yeah.
is this your vehicle?
This is my vehicle. Yeah.
Okay. What are we not going to do moving forward?
I drive in the wrong lane.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Edward.
All right.
You
Is
have
that
a good day.
roads?
Yeah, no
No,
problem.
it's not roads.
Who is it?
It's his son. Sorry. So. Yo, lovely. Thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Why is. I'm so confused about this. Why is specifically 4.0 there's this like split between Matt and Flop? I don't understand. Nothing's changed. Thank you, lovely, for the 13 months. I do appreciate it. So to go back to what I was saying real quick, sushi, Austin, by far the most expensive meal I've had in my life. And it does not even come close. Not even fucking close. That sushi fucked me up. Like, I'm talking fucked me up. So good. I will probably never have it again, and I will never have sushi that will ever wow me like that. But it was very good. I will never understand. I don't get it. I don't know. It looks so different. I don't understand. Favorite best fast food restaurant. Okay, I'm gonna be blunt. I don't think that I really don't think. I'm not a fast food fan. I think fast food for the most part is possibly like it's just not good. I was never a fan of fast food. However, if I were to order fast food or I were to stop and get fast food, there's only two things in this world I will usually stop for anymore. Either Taco Bell when I am drunk, or what the fuck? Or once every like 6 months, we'll say. I don't get it very often, but once every, we'll say 6 months, I will go into Popeyes and only order their spicy chicken sandwich. That shit has me weak, I will admit. Is Culver's fast food? You could call it fast food, I think. Do you remember the name of the restaurant for the sushi? Oh, God. It was... I just know it was crazy expensive and you had to make a reservation. I couldn't tell you anything past that, though. I have no idea. It was very good, though. It was so good. I remember falling in love with the place, but that's not a place I could go to very often. How many officers are on? We have a couple, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, as of right now, it is me and Duncan on duty. Raising Cane's? I had Cane's. I finally had Cane's. I'm gonna be honest. Cane's is kind of mid. Everyone hypes up Cane's and their fucking toast. I gotta be honest. It's kind of mid. Like, the chicken's good. The sauce is good. But everyone's like, oh, you gotta get the toast. It's to die for. It's not that great. You're wrong. I mean, listen. I was in Austin. I had Cane's. I got the verdict. It's just, it didn't. Everyone told me that Cane's was gonna like knock your dick off. It was like nothing gets better than that. It is the cream of the crop. I had it and I'm like, you know, this really doesn't do anything more than just taste like a fast food chicken place. It's low tier food. IMO. I mean, Cane's toast is meh. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The chicken's just unseasoned. I don't know. You know what I will say though? You know what I will say? I have had In-N-Out. It's good. But it was not anything that like I would say goes above and beyond anybody else. I will admit their fries do taste like fucking cardboard. And I know people have said to me, oh, well, that's just because they don't overly season their stuff. Well, then I guess I like overly seasoned stuff because their fries taste like shit. The Chick King from Burger King was really good. You know what's funny? I didn't even know what the Chick King was until Good Mythical Morning. Rhett hyped the shit out of that, and I never got a chance to get it, but I've been informed that apparently it was really good. What was that? Don't you say so. Didn't even know it. If Flop was in the review panel for Cornwood, how would he have voted? After what he heard, I think he would have felt very almost identical to what Alice was saying. I don't think it doesn't sound like Cornwood. It sounds like Cornwood was really caught in bad timing, but the things that he was in trouble for, Flop did. I'm sure from a character stance, had he heard more, would have felt a lot more inclined to believe that, you know, he was probably not deserving of losing his job. Punishment, yes. Deserving of losing his job, but probably not. Whataburger or In-N-Out? I have never had Whataburger, but from what I've heard, Whataburger has gone downhill, and I've even heard it as the 2.0. How is it referenced to me? The 2.0, the McDonald's 2.0, I guess. I don't know. Granted, I'll be blunt. I don't like McDonald's at all. I'm actually very much against McDonald's. McDonald's is the only fast food joint that I feel physically ill after I'm done eating. If I eat McDonald's, I feel like absolute utter shit the entire day. I like brain fog. Like I don't feel good after. Or what? Coral, what the? Go home. You're drunk. Are you worried that if Mr. K doesn't get a pardon, there will be a hell week? If I have... you want my hot take? I don't know anything about the pardon. I don't know anything about Mr. K, but what I can tell you is that for the amount of times any of us have heard the word hell week or have heard the term hell week, I'm just so numb to it at this point. Just I don't really give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, oh boy, another week where we dog on everybody for apparently not doing something. You know what I mean? Like for Flop to hear that and for me to hear it, the amount of times, you know, hell weeks have been brought up, they just for me, they don't mean anything. They don't mean anything for roleplay, and they don't mean anything because most of the time, Hell Weeks don't, you know, I'm just going to be honest, they don't change anything. And if it's not Hell Week already with 6 officers being told to being robbed and being told to jump off bridges, then God only knows what's to come. I don't know. I think my honest takeaway is that I just don't care about Hell Weeks. And even if one happens, I don't care. And my opinion on the Mr. K situation is that here's the fact. I don't know what's happening with Mr. K, and I also don't really care. Nothing against him. It's just, it doesn't affect my character. And until it does, I don't, here's the reality. This is something that I think every streamer could take, and I think every viewer can take into some sort of respectable amount. Oop. You guys okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. I apologize. I'm just doing some patrol up here. Just make sure you guys are good.
No problem.
All good. You take care. Something very important that I think a lot of people need to remember and need to continue to do. I think the reason why I sit down and I look at situations and I just sort of turn you could say a blind eye to, you know, intentions on things is because when I'm on the server and I'm doing something for my character, if it affects my character or doesn't affect my character and in some way makes its way to my character, then at that point there is an opportunity to, you know, do something with it. When I am off stream and I am away from NoPixel, that is my time to disconnect. That's my time to have a break in my life from what is something that I do every day. And the problem is that I think a lot of people become very passionate, and I think passion is good. I think it's great, but passion can go too far. And I think if passion goes too far, then you attach yourself to something that, I'm gonna be honest, isn't real. And if I'm live and I'm here, it's because like this is the time when I get to see it and experience it, right? But when I'm off the computer or I'm away from the computer or I'm not anywhere near, you know, the server, I don't go out of my way to look things up. I don't go out of my way to do my own research, right? If it's something to encourage roleplay, like, you know, watching YouTube videos about interrogations or something of that sort, sure, that's fun and that's good and that's great. And that's to encourage good roleplay when I am around. But I'm not doing my own research. I'm not trying to figure out a plan or a method. When I'm off the server, that's my time. And I think it is so, I think it's needed to have a healthy connection with something that we get to create and do, to disconnect yourself from it. So to answer your question in a very extensive way, what do I think about there being possibly a Hell Week? My response is I just don't care. And not in a disrespectful way. It's just, it is what it is, right? There's a reason I have a meta channel, and I tell everybody that meta channel, excuse me, is there for my community to discuss things. Because I don't want to know about them. I don't want to find out about them. I don't want to have any interest in it. It just, it keeps me kind of in a healthy mindset. And I think the problem is that the unhealthy mindset comes when you become too attached. And that's with anything in life. And currently right now I spend 8 to 10, you know, hours a day, you know, in a virtual world, right? If I got off stream and I continued to live in this virtual world for another 10 to 12 hours before I get on, there's no disconnect. That's burnout. And it's just at that point you are now overly attached, in my opinion. What is a Hell Week anyway? pretty much a week where criminals attack cops to make a point, and 99.9999999% of the time, it involves like 2 officers, and the other 65 have to deal with the issues of what involved only 2 people to begin with. So. Got burnt out in under a year. I will say this. I'm going to say this, and man, do I hate bringing it up because clips were definitely not surfaced about this topic of discussion recently. Streaming is... I've worked a couple different jobs before I found my love for streaming, and I was able to turn a hobby into what we can call a career, right? I do this full time right now. This is my full-time thing. I'm very fortunate, very thankful, and I wouldn't trade this for the world. With that said, there are, you know, just like anything that you devote a lot of time to, you find the negatives. There's a lot of negatives that come with, and one of those things is when I am done for the day, after I'm done here and I get off of stream, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to associate with anybody. I just want to sit on my couch and do nothing. I am so mentally drained after a day of streaming, right? And that's fine. But this is where being able to have a healthy disconnect is good. I could do 18-hour days. I could do 20-hour days, and I would enjoy doing them. But I will tell you right now that fuse will get very thin very quick before I'm burned out. And the way that I keep streaming healthy, and I've talked about this, but the way that I keep streaming healthy is that I don't look at this as you know, my job or a career, or I look at this as I'm streaming, I'm having fun, I'm engaging with a community of people that I enjoy spending my days with. And I think the idea behind that is that I do think that calling something a job becomes a mentality. And when you tell yourself that you're doing a job, you are now essentially putting some sort of determination into it, forcing you to kind of have that inclination that you need to be around, you need to do this, you need to do that. In order to keep streaming healthy for me, I get on when I want to, and I get on at the same time every day, or I try to, but I don't ever look at it as, you know, I need to get on. I absolutely, no questions asked, need to. I keep that disconnect. I keep that split, and I try and keep it very healthy. Now, I still think that I'm very consistent, and I try and be a consistent streamer in that regard, but I do think that a lot of people burn out because they push their limits, and, you know, once that fuse goes away, then, you know, there is that recovery period, and it is a rough one. So having a balance is very important for your mentality. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that at all. That's a fact. So keep it as a want, not a need. I am a firm believer that if you love something, you don't work a day in your life. And there are sacrifices I make to do full-time streaming, but none that will, you know, that I don't make any sacrifices that I will regret. My biggest regret is not being able to take more time to travel and see family. I still take that time to travel, but when I plan trips, I plan them as short as possible. A weekend at most, which is fine. But outside of that, I won't take like a month off to go like see family. It won't happen. I have my limits too. But outside of that, I don't look at this as, you know, a very heavy set, you know, you need to be around, and no matter what, you need to get on. When I first started streaming, that was my mentality. Always show up, keep doing your thing. But the reality is this, that doesn't get you anywhere. If you're not having fun, people aren't having fun. And if people aren't having fun, then no one's having fun. So I try and keep it fun and engaging, and I try and keep it enjoyable for myself, and I try and keep it enjoyable for others as well. It's because of that healthy disconnect. When people can't separate IRL from RP is when it starts getting toxic. The way you avoid toxicity is, and I have, again, I've said this too very recently, I'll make an ass out of myself to make my point. And the reality is, I don't care to call somebody out if they're saying some hella dumb shit in chat. I will call you out, and I will make sure that my point is made. My recent example last night, people brought up OOC very often, and I made my point. Enough with the OOC shit. We had an hour-plus long conversation with myself, Alice, and Barrick, and not a single one of us ever brought out the words OOC. Because it's not always about OOC. It's not always about the out-of-character experience. We're here for the in-character experience. I don't want to see the words OOC. Why? Because that just doesn't interest me. I'm not here to start the discussion on speculating how somebody feels out of the server. That is up for that person to decide. That's not up for the viewer to decide. So I keep it honest. I keep it healthy. And you know, am I a perfect streamer? No. Am I the funniest? No. Am I the most entertaining? Hello? You good?
Yeah, I just stopped because of the red light.
Okay, all right. But yeah, I don't think I'm the funniest. I don't think I'm the best. I don't ever compare myself to be the best. I just come on, I do my thing, I have my fun. And all I ask in return is that other people see that. And if you enjoy yourself, great. If you don't, you don't. And I'm very stern about that. I don't want anyone to ever feel pressure to be here. I don't want anyone to ever apologize for not being able to show up. I don't want anyone to apologize for not being able to subscribe. The only things that I push in my channel for the most part, outside of, you know, the subathon every once in a blue moon, is, you know, hey, if you're enjoying, follow. If you want to keep up with the community, join the Discord. And you know, follow my socials. I mean, I don't, you know. Oh, this is bad. I'll come back after store.
Stop.
My head is not feeling good.
Okay.
Give it a push. Get on that.
Yeah, this is bad. Southside's really bad today. Hey, what's up, Sars? How you doing? Oh, dear God. This is fucking painful, dude. This is fucking painful. Holy shit. I think I had a hard time because I tried to play to my stream, not to what I wanted to do. So I was doing what they wanted, and I thought that was what it was supposed to be doing. The most authentic thing that you can do as a streamer is to be yourself. Be funny, do your stuff, right? Have your punches, have your things, quote unquote, like Ziggy and me, right? Let's be honest. We have our banter back and forth, right? But it's very authentic banter, right? I don't hate him. He doesn't hate me, right? But we have our moments, and they're enjoyable, and we both enjoy it. And stuff like that is healthy, right? And I think I think that is something that a lot of people need to remember, is that if you choose to be a persona, right? If you were a streamer with a persona, and that's what you're starting with, you have to bear in mind that that persona is essentially you for the remainder of how long you are streaming, right? But if you choose to start being yourself and you continue to be yourself, you're only going to invite more people to see you for who you are. And I chose to be myself, put simply. So, Red Baldur's Gate 3 session yesterday with some of the boys. GTRP is a treat. Hell yeah. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth today. Life's good. Yeah, good old Final Fantasy. What's up, Sunstone? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. How are ya? You can easily get burnt out pretending to be someone else. Well, that's what I'm saying is if you start off by being I'll give you a perfect example. If you start off your career as a chef and you decide to be a comedian, most of the people that show up to eat your food are probably not going to go to your comedy show. That's a fact, right? If you choose to be someone you're not, you're a persona on stream, and then you go to being yourself, people are going to start to see you for your persona, not for who you are. Just vibing tonight? I feel ya. But yeah, I think I think the real takeaway is this. I wanted to just be me, and you know, I'm not the biggest streamer. I'm not, you know, and I'm not out here trying to be the biggest streamer. I'm just out here doing my thing and enjoying myself. And if people see that and see that, you know, that same envision, then, you know, cool, great. I love that. That's a healthy balance that I can get behind. So what a quote. Yeah, that was a good criticism. The flop had to pick 3 to 4 officers to promote to the senior officers regardless of what shift they were in. Who would they pick / suggest? I don't know a lot of other people outside of shifts, to be honest. I think Rhodes would definitely be on that list. We got the meeting coming up. But yeah, I don't know. Figured I'd just kind of spew out some knowledge, whether people wanted to hear it through or not. I'm a pretty honest person. I try and keep it as authentic as possible. I don't try and skew it. I don't try and, you know, sugarcoat it. I'm just who I am, and I try and keep it that way. Hey, what's up, Lubes? How are you? Turner, Slacks, Jackson. Oop. The captains are together. You know, I forgot I had coffee. I forgot about that. Oh. Found the captains. I had heard about PD had gotten a Caracara. We did, and it's very fun. You forgot about coffee? I did. I did. Oh, God. Has anyone heard from Servant lately? Nah, not in a couple days. Where's Barrick today? I don't know. I was going to try and get statements for, speaking of RP and investigations. Actually, you know what? No! All right. This is where we're at. This is what we have to do, so. New follower for your stream, and I don't regret it. Well, I appreciate you following. Thank you, thank you. Hope your day's going well. I do hope your week's going great. Did Flop get the phone subpoena yet? No, we're gonna work. I'm probably gonna work at that off stream, to be honest, because I just think it's easier. That one's a consent subpoena, so I'm trying to keep the authenticity in that. I mean, I could show it to you. I have to screenshot it anyway. But yeah, I'll probably end up doing that off stream. Just consenting to the time frame. Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any questions for me about anything, I mean, I'm down to answer. RP related, me related, whatever. I will say though, I do want to go back to Austin soon. I do miss my friends. Does having the browser MDT make things a lot easier now? It is so nice to know that I can log in with a browser. Because I like, I'm going to say something kind of crazy. There's going to be a time in my life very soon where I'm going to go out for brunch and I'm going to bring my laptop and just start working on reports there. He's going to do a 24-hour. Oh, who, Barrick? I want to do a subathon at some point, but I can't bring myself to. I'm very I'm in a very interesting spot right now in my life, and I'm trying to work on some stuff before I devote myself to living under my roof for extended periods of time. Eating apple pie and cheese. Fuck. I barely have food to eat for the week. Please, God. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna ever have a chance to do a subathon. I'm trying. I gotta work on myself before I do that. But 'cause even I got my weaknesses too. Hey, canned chicken for you, you bastard. I haven't forgotten. I'll say that much. Hey, what's up, Hick? How are you? Hey, I played that guy that was broken down on the highway. Appreciate Flop stopping to help. Yeah. Absolutely. Why does apple pie and cheese actually sound good to me? I don't know. Have you ever had a slice on of pineapple chunk and a pickled onion together? It's actually good. Dude, you want to talk about something that people so unbelievably underrated. Oh my God. Pickled onion is so good. I love it. It's so good. You go to Korean barbecue, they give you that little cup of pickled onion. Oof. It is better than people would think. Cheese and pineapple is a great combo. I actually don't mind pineapple on pizza. Speaking of cheese and pineapple. I think pineapple... I think I have the correct take on pineapple on pizza. And the take is very simple. I will never order pineapple on pizza, but if I go to a friend's house and I walk in and they offer me pineapple pizza, you bet your ass, no questions asked, not gonna hesitate. I'm having 3 slices. Won't go out of my way to buy it myself, but yeah. You might like Lomans? Oh, I'm probably butchering that. That sounds good. Storm time? Yeah, it's storm time. Gotta try grilled cheese and pineapple. I've never had a grilled cheese and pineapple. You know what I do want to do? I do want to eventually buy a loaf of sourdough. Sourdough might be one of my just favorite types of bread, like of all time. A plow? How do you pronounce that? Oh, okay. I see. Is it pronounced plow? Like when you plow somebody, that's PLOW though. At least in the States it is. I have never seen it spelled PLOUGH. Oh my God. Dude, fucking please. 5M, you suck. A farmer's lunch? That's cool. Try hot chips and Vegemite sandwich. I'm willing to defend a lot. But if you told me that the Vegemite factory burned down tomorrow, I'd probably celebrate. For the record, if the Vegemite factory does burn down tomorrow, I was not involved. I was not involved at any step of the way. I was not involved. That building would smell so bad. If anyone's ever had fucking Vegemite, I can't get behind it, man. I don't know how to say it. It's just, I can't, I don't know. Been eating Vegemite for over 50 years. I love it. I just can't do it. I don't know. Wait, did people panic buy Vegemite in COVID like they did Marmite? There's no way people panic bought. It can't be that good, man. I don't want to make meat pies for next week. I've never had a meat pie. If it's anything like what do you call it?
Bob, you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right, Cap.
Why are you limping?
Because I got shot in the lung the other day.
Who shot you?
You know that Frederick Rowland guy?
That man had a gun?
He stole a PD issued firearm. We found him. We boxed him. And he said, you know what, cuh, fuck this. And his passenger pulled a gun out the passenger window and just capped me. And that was it.
Scary.
Yeah, it was not a good time. It was very very uncomfortable.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I was on blood for 2 days, but I'm back in good force now.
Why the hell are you driving motor? If I knew that, I would have drove motor.
I mean, I've been good to operate, but I mean, the worst of it is I'm just easily fatigued right now.
Long shift?
Nah, not today.
Okay. All right.
The whole lung thing has just kind of slowed me down a little bit. Is it this way? Sorry, I'm still lost.
Mm-hmm.
Motor was fun. Motor was a blast. It was great.